Previously on Town Hall 10 Free to Play, we explored a new Town Hall 10 Clan War 3-star strategy. Today, I'm going to share my secret for maxing out your walls fast. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Joe, and welcome back for episode 21 of the Town Hall 10 Free-to-Play series. This is a progression series where I'm playing through all the daily struggles of Town Hall 10, whether it's the collection of resources, collecting trophies, or trying to get the 3-star in Clan War. We're going to play through all of those strategies. Now, today's episode is going to be focused around the secret of how I maxed out my wall so quick, or gotten so close. We only have 20 pieces of wall left, and I have loot to spend right this second. And just like that, we have 10 pieces of wall remaining for upgrade. I know, just spend your gold and your elixir. Seriously, that is not the key to success. So there are a few determining factors here that really enhances the amount of walls you get done as quickly as possible. You need to be using a good, solid farming army, whether you're using mass baby dragons, barge, miners, it doesn't matter. Pick an army that you enjoy using, that you can use for an extended period of time. That way you can focus directly on the walls. The second key is that you have to make sure that you are in a trophy range that has a lot of dead loot. In my case, it's been gold 1, low crystal league, and I bounce in between there. I'll push up, I'll drop back down, I'll push up, I'll drop back down, and I repeat that over and over and over again until my resource collectors are full. I also use training potions to stay focused on the game for 1 hour every single time I do it. That way I continue to steal resources and I stay involved in the game and keep the resources coming in. Now, you must also maintain one builder at all times. If you put all 5 builders down, you're basically defeating the purpose. You're not going to be able to put your walls down and upgrade them. So one of the best things about walls, even though they are so elusive to upgrade and a lot of players just do not like doing it, is that they do not require time to upgrade. And so you'll notice that I have 4 builders down at all times. In this case, I have the king and the queen. They require dark elixir, so they don't necessarily play a big role here. And then I have both of my inferno towers down, which required gold, and they are lengthy upgrades. In the laboratory, I will put something down that is lengthy, whether it's an elixir upgrade or a dark elixir upgrade. And then for the next couple of days, I will have that one builder, and I can just basically use that builder to do one upgrade each time. And so I will fill my gold all the way up and my elixir all the way up to 8.5 million, and then what I will do is do a bunch of walls all at once. So I will farm back to back to back to back, get up to 8.5, and then I will basically spend off 7 million of each, and what that does is about 14 pieces of wall per session if I'm able to fill up. So I mean, really, it's not that difficult at all. I invest a training potion towards it. You'll notice that I've been using the baby dragon army in this case, and I'm just using the baby dragons because they're simple and they go really, really fast for me, and it's something that I haven't used before, so I'm enjoying it. And so I will go for about an hour, maybe 2 hours, depending on how I'm feeling that day, and I will just continue to steal resources and try to fill up my gold storages and my elixir storages, and then I just dump it into walls. Just like that. As long as you keep 4 builders going and your laboratory going for an extended period of time, and you save that one builder, you can knock out walls in less than a week, maybe 3 days at the minimum. Man, I tell you what, every time I do a video, the loot is just so amazing. There are some days that the loot is just not presentable, but whenever I hit record, it just starts to pour out, and I love it. I need to be recording more often, or just go live, one of the two. So this is really what I'm looking for. Bases that are just so incredibly dead where I can just use baby dragons around the outside and steal the gold and elixir. Now, there's been a lot of debate in the Discord server about, armies that you can use to steal dark elixir as well. As you can see, I'm back up to 74,000 dark elixir, and it's not as much as it would be if I used miners. But in reality, this army is just a little bit less work than what a miner army is. Miners, you got to have spells. I don't even bring spells for this. You really, truly don't need spells. And the reason why I'm not bringing spells is because it saves on elixir. And I'm taking that elixir and dumping it into my walls anyways. So it really just simplifies everything. And so I try to spend as little baby dragons as possible. But sometimes I'm more trying to gain the win because I still want to try to push back up to the Crystal League. And then I might possibly just drop back down again, depending on how the loot looks. And so a lot of times there's a lot of days when there's just no loot available, and you just need to bounce around. You might need a loser raid or something. Just try it out and see how it works out for you. In the past, that's normally what I do whenever I have just situations when there's absolutely no loot and I'm getting really frustrated and I'm just like, I'm tired of waiting right now, I will lose a raid, and then like the next time I hit attack, all of a sudden there's a dead base, and it's just like, wow, man, it's like the game just kind of read my mind or something. So we have a little bit of loot left here. I'm already down to 7 baby dragons, so I'm not going to spend this. I'm going to take the loss on this one. Farming, you're not worried about winning. You're not worried about trophies, and we'll talk about that here more in a second. Let me go ahead and surrender and bail on this raid, walking away with 630,000 gold and 537,000 elixir. Now, when you come out of a raid, make sure that you go back in and train your next army, or train what you used in the previous raid. And this is kind of where I start to apply a training boost. I think I have a few training boosts that I can use. I'm going to save one for a stream that's going to be happening. It'll actually have already happened by the time you watch this video. But we're going to go ahead and boost our army back up. That way, when I go out and use this army, this 24 baby dragons or whatever I decide to use, then the next army will be ready for me. This is how I keep it going. Now, you have to be kind of selective on the bases that you hit. You have to make it worth your while. I try to look for stuff over 300,000. Obviously, I would love to have a lot more than that, but sometimes they're just not presenting themselves. So I'll have to continue to hit next until I find them. And you just next until you find something like this. Now, it's not even on loot, but still it's over 500,000 gold. That's a lot of gold, and this is a very dead base. Now, there's certain locations on this base I have to worry about when I'm using the baby dragons. I have to worry about those air defenses. So this kind of comes into play, and it's sometimes where I might actually, not be successful with pulling off the win. But this is where I'm going to get into the part of trophies and loot, the difference between the two. What do you value more at this very moment? Do you want your bases to be maxed out, or do you want to show off being in Masters League or being up in Champions League? It's really dependent on what your answer is right there, because if you, I'll just give you a little bit of a story. Back when I was in the army, my friends and I used to play this game together, and we used to be in the same clan together. And so one of the things that really stood out was not necessarily what my trophy count was whenever I showed off my base. It was normally like the level of my walls or what my defenses looked like. Whenever they looked at my base and they were like, wow, how did you do that? I bet you spent some money, didn't you? Like, that's normally how it went. Wow, look at that base. That's pretty awesome. Now, I bet you spent a little bit of cash, didn't you? No, I really didn't. I did this. I did stuff like this. Now, training potions were not around when I was doing this, so I was probably buying gems back then and doing the 30 gem boost to boost my army. That's how I was doing it back then. But times have changed in the game, and there's a lot of quality of life upgrades in the magic items that grant you the ability to do these things free to play. The same techniques that I was using years ago on my main account are still the same types of things that I'm doing now on series like this to show you guys how to do it. And so baby dragons, they're great. Miners would have done really well in this situation because the miners are able to just rush through the base. But with the miners, you also have to have heal spells. I don't know if you've ever used miners without heal spells, but they don't do very well sometimes, and they tend to just die off, especially if you do not have level 3s. All right, let's go ahead and just focus on what we got going on here. Let's try to grab as much of this loot as possible. Air defenses are not baby dragon's friend. We have to worry about those things, and we might walk away with losing. So back on the topic of trophies, I don't care about trophies. All I care about is maxing the base out first, and then I'll do a little bit of trophy pushing just to see how far I can get. Not saying that it's necessarily a difficult task. If you have a really strong army, you should be able to push up pretty high, and especially if you have the hero levels as well. Baby dragon's going to get caught up on this gold storage, which has absolutely nothing in it, but we should be able to move in on this gold mine and grab a little bit more gold before we walk away from this raid. There's another one right here, but I don't want to spend any more baby dragons. We're down to 5. I don't want to wait an extended period of time, so I'm going to go ahead and surrender, walk away with over 500,000 gold, 400,000 elixir right there. Oh my goodness, now this is a good way to finish out this video. Now, we have a live base. You're going to notice that those Inferno towers are very much alive, the Expos are very much alive, but we have so much loot on this base, it really just does not matter. This guy has not logged in quite some time. I mean, all these collectors are full. These are definitely great targets when it comes to the baby dragons. And so you're going to see that that loot is just falling off and just jumping its way over into my resource collectors like it's absolutely nothing. It's just kind of sitting still waiting for me. So let's go ahead and finish up and clear out these resources as quickly as possible. And I might spend off the rest of this army in this raid. I'm not really sure, because I want to show you what I've been able to do in this video video in just the last couple of minutes. Like, this is going to be about like a 10-minute video or something, and you're going to see that I've been able to pull about another, what is it, 1.5 mil or something like that, and another 2 million-ish of gold. And so, I mean, this is not a bad army in itself, but again, you can have a choice here. There's multiple choices. You can use barge, you can use miners, whatever you feel is fastest. And honestly, they're all just really fast if you use a boost regardless. But again, it's just a matter of personal preference and what you enjoy using. So I know one of my clanmates, she uses barge for everything when it comes to farming, and she just enjoys it. She just enjoys it. For me, it just gets incredibly boring, like, because I've been doing it for so many years, and it's one of the oldest armies in the game. So we're going to steal a little bit more of our elixir off of this base. We might have to freeze this air defense. Now, level 1 freeze spells, they kind of suck. They're only going to last for like a couple seconds, and then it's gone. But we were able to grab the elixir out of that collector right there. Let's see if we can grab a little bit more right here. Maybe let's grab this one. We got to deal with an archer queen, level 6 archer queen. She's going to target that baby dragon. Baby dragon's going to take out and punk that queen out, but it's also going to die in the process. Let's see if we try to grab this one here as well. I think we did a little bit of damage over here, 56%. You see that we actually do gain the win, and I wasn't necessarily trying to gain the win off of this raid. It was just the level of base and how much was given up here. Just absolutely phenomenal to get the win and also steal a bulk of the loot. So it looks like we got the most of it. Let me make sure I zoom all the way out and make sure there's nothing else on there. And we're going to go ahead and walk away from that, train up our next army. 700,000 gold, just under a million of elixir. That is outstanding. And that puts us back at 4 million and 3.6 of elixir. We could do, let's see here, 7 pieces of wall if we wanted to, but I'm going to save it for the live stream later on. I'm going to go back in and make sure that I train up the army that I spent before. I have a training boost going for another 39 minutes, so I could apply this and actually fill up my resources before the live stream tonight and finish out walls. That was the kind of defeats the purpose of what I was going to stream about tonight. But also, I'm going to show you real quick before we walk away from this video for today. This is what was pulled in the last segment. We had 11 minutes, 17 minutes, 23 minutes, and then the previous one was at 2 hours ago that you saw earlier in the video. So we only did 2, 3, 4 raids, and we were able to get back up to 4 million and 3.4. For some of you, that might not be a lot, but for someone like me who just raids nonstop, that is adding up really quick. And in the next 40 minutes, I could collect another batch and be back up to 8 million gold and be able to do more walls. So this is my secret to walls on how I upgraded them so fast. Is there a faster way to do this? Absolutely. Buy the gold pass. But if you don't want to buy the gold pass and you want to stay strictly free to play, you must grind and devote a builder. Save a builder and focus on walls, and I promise you can get them done in a couple days. You just got to focus on it. So hopefully you were able to get something out of the video today, guys. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you leave a like on the video. If you are not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button if you want to watch us every single day. If you need any additional video support, click one of those links over there, and we will see you in the next one, guys. Take care.